What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Lucid. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what is really moving it and what just came out associated to the company itself. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is down 0.44% right now. Nothing really crazy. $3.37 the low, and then $3.43 the high. Kind of low volume, so 1.9 million shares being traded. 32.1 is the average. So far, 2 transactions on the secondary market above $100,000. Regrettably, both are sells, $279,000 and then $577,000. Why they are selling, I'm not really sure, but that seems to be the common thing over the last 2 days, is to sell Lucid, which is kind of random because Lucid did unveil their numbers yesterday and also the date of their Q3 earnings. And in case you do not know, they were pretty kick-ass, unless maybe they're worried about this number right here, the 1800 produced. Maybe that is a little bit lower than what they did anticipate, but even if moving over to IBKR, this just came out. So the latest ratings, you had 3 new ones, 1 sell, which was done by Adam Jonas, Morgan Stanley, who has a 50% success rating. So Adam Jonas has always been rather bearish on Lucid. Actually, to be fully honest, I think the last rating that he gave was $5, and at the time it was $5. So that was kind of the most optimistic, but clearly he is anticipating more of a further downtrend. There's a couple other ones that did come out yesterday. So Robert Bard, Ben, who has a 44% success rating, and then $4 Cantor Fitzgerald, Andre Shepard, and honestly, he should just be working at McDonald's or something because 37% is horrific. But aside from all of that stuff though, analysts still don't see the, I guess, massive upside with Lucid. Interesting point though, when Lucid did have that tech and manufacturing day, analysts were a lot more optimistic on Lucid and were giving better ratings rather than clearly Lucid's numbers. So again, something just to kind of consider, but in my opinion, those ratings are really affecting institutions and what they are doing. So maybe that's why there is some selling going on first thing, but as of today, no actual data points. We have FOMC tomorrow and then CPI, PPI later in the week, and a lot of that is going to change the dynamic of this. And in my opinion, this was also one attributing factor that caused some volatility and kind of held Lucid back, was this. So 13.3% likelihood of no cut for the November 7th. So that did pop up, and I think that might have spooked the broader market slightly. But as of today, no actual news from Lucid itself, no SEC filings, nothing like that. So just kind of anticipate them to be just kind of stuck in limbo, I guess, essentially until their upcoming earnings, just reacting to broader market data points. But moving on though, like I said, about 1.9 million shares being traded. Shorts are taking up a good half of that. So right now shorts are increasing 841,000 shares. So this is why it is very clear that there is a lot of manipulation and that Lucid is suppressed, because if shorts are making up 50% of the volume first thing, like typically the first thing and during power hour near the end, that's when stocks typically do a lot of their movement, right? But if shorts suppress Lucid time and time again every single morning, then Lucid will never have their crazy breakouts. So yeah, something just to kind of consider, but 30.74% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 275.61 million shares. And then cost of borrow average is 5.1, utilization 95.72, and then short score is 84.41. Popping over here through IBKR, you do see around 950,000 shares is available to be shorted. So again, something to kind of consider. Moving over to options, again, the market's only been open roughly 30 minutes, so take that into consideration. But 30,000 in calls, 13,000 in puts. 71% of all the options being done so far today are bearish. And if you factor in that shorts, especially them increasing to that degree, are probably making up a lot of these calls just to hedge, then yeah, the sentiment is very negative. Most likely, again, reacting to just the analyst ratings, unless there is some other new information that did come out, maybe associated to the Gravity or something else that I'm not aware of as of yet. But The only thing that has really been coming out so far that I'm, again, aware of is just the ratings. But these are all the call options that are being purchased so far. So kind of a consensus around the 350. This is the current open interest. So right now you have 11,000 at that 350 and then 8,000 at that 4. So similar to last week, as I've mentioned, shorts and market makers have a financial interest in suppressing Lucid below $3.50 come by Friday. So just again, another thing to keep in mind, that there might be some extra volatility come Friday, but of the puts that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be $3 or sub $3. So yeah, right now with it at $3.42, it is trading between these 2 points, so this S1 and the pivot. So 338 is going to be the strong support, kind of bounced off of that general area, and then $3.73 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. I'm looking at the 1-day chart on the side note, and in between those 2 points, you have basically right over here that 50-day moving average. So 50-day moving average is around that 350 mark as well. So Lucid will definitely really need to hit a home run to really break past that resistance point. And then even above that, you have that central boiling band. So Lucid is kind of more on a sticky technical level. And I think that's why shorts do increase quite a lot with Lucid, this just to break it down on a technical stance. But stochastic, you do see a nice bullish deviation. It is at 24, so arguably considered oversold. A number of retail investors have been getting in, so they kind of are loving Lucid. So if you are part of that group and you've been really buying the dip, if that makes sense with Lucid, then give yourself a shout out in the comments below. But what if you aren't buying Lucid? Why? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for Lucid's upcoming earnings, which is scheduled for November the 7th, or is there some other macro data point that maybe you're worried about? So let me know you guys' thoughts on Lucid. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it. They give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So make sure you guys definitely take advantage of that. And if you do like my channel, I did also launch memberships. So something to kind of throw out there. So if you like the channel, take a look at it. So with all that said, appreciate all of you guys watching.